Hello world, how are you? Um, I recently made a video about my weekend. You know, my channel has become a little bit about everything. I decided to start sharing parts, talking about my life. But anyway, in any case, that's the reason I'm recording this video. What do I do on a regular weekend? On a regular weekend, I take care of my pets. I take care of my fish. And I think that there's a lot of misinformation out there about discus and angelfish. So today I will be talking about discus and angelfish. As you know, most of you know, experienced fish keepers know that angelfish are cousins of discus fish. So the purpose of this video is for you to understand your pets a little bit better. Okay, let's start with this, guys. Look at these beautiful pictures of what I call the eye of the tiger. Not really the eye of the tiger, but the eye of the caiman, or the eye of the reptile, the eye of the, more specifically, not crocodile. I want to talk about more specifically about the South American caiman. Let me ask you a question. How beautiful does a fish have to be to recreate the eye of the caiman? Look at this range of coloring, right? That that the fish has to accomplish, you know. I mean, as you know, eyes are one of the most beautiful things that eyes are the window to the soul. But just the colors here, I mean, are isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? So a lot of animals in nature, especially vulnerable, I don't want to say vulnerable, but animals who can be prey, they rely on a secret, you know. They either have two eyes or pretend to have more eyes. That's what the discus does, guys. That's why it's supposed to have that line in the middle. So I see a lot of videos on YouTube and I get very frustrated when I see discus looking weird. Weird. I mean, yeah, this world helps the world of fish breeding helps you to learn a little bit about genetics. But come on, guys. I mean, some of the fins on your fish, and that's the purpose of this video. You know, it's like also not only educational, but it's like a rant, guys. What are you doing with your fish? By the way, I'm gonna talk about exclusively. Yes, I started saying that discus were the cousins of angelfish. This video is not about discus, okay? This video is about angelfish, and I mean, discus people can relate to this video, because they're very similar. But let's start off with that. Let's start off with the eye. This is what an angelfish is supposed to look like. There's a reason for that, which I will explain later, or maybe I can explain it right off the top of my head. So now we know that discus, um, especially wild discus, they look like this for a purpose. You know, if you're in the Amazon, the water is a little bit, it has tannins. The water is clean. The only reason it looks a little bit brown is because of the tannins on the water. So if you're a fish, let's say a bigger fish like an Oscar, and look at the blue part on the outside, it look like veins, right? Like the veins of the eye. You see this thing in the water, you're like, oh my God, this looks like at least one or two caimans. This is just their eye. Look at this, you probably see like snake skin or something, or you're gonna get the hell out of there. you know, Look at the size of this animal. I mean, thinking that this is an eye. This is a huge caiman. I better get out of here. That's why these types of fish, both angelfish and discus, they like to save energy, and they like to spend that energy doing mating, doing other things, growing, for example. And this is beautiful, guys, because not a lot of fish or animals in nature have the opportunity to observe. Okay, these things are like horses. They behave like horses because their position in life, and what part of it, I mean, besides their obvious beauty, another thing that makes them beautiful is their behavior. So now that we understand that these fish have the time, thanks to their camouflage, they have the time to interact in different ways, both with humans, because we keep them in our fish tanks, and we keep them in our lives. They're dear to me. They're dear to us, just like wild horses, guys. You know. Why am I talking about horses? Because a lot of us want to get to the breeding stage. A lot of us want to get to seeing the babies. Seeing the choosing. A lot of us love genetics and choosing the best specimens. Guys, we have to do this correctly. And to do this correctly, we have to understand the fish. I love the German fish keepers because they like the wild types. And we have to understand and respect the beauty behind the wild types. So also, a lot of us want to get to, like I said, to the babies, to the genetics, to choosing what we consider to be the best specimens, either for profit or because they're beautiful. But once we understand the fish and their behavior, we know that that this line in the middle is there for a reason. The lines on the angelfish, you know, when they are interacting, they're sizing each other up, they're sizing their bodies, but they themselves are looking for a mate who has not only the strength characteristics like a horse, not only the perfect triangle, the perfect fins for swimming. They're also looking for the best camouflage. So let's respect that, guys, breeders. Let's take that into consideration. A fish with a deformed or very long, fins, they may look beautiful to you. They look beautiful to us. But the fish doesn't swim in the way it's supposed to, guys. You know? And that's why I go back to horses. Um, so anyway, these fish have the time to interact both, well, mainly with each other, but also with you, okay? I'm talking about horses because horses graze. Horses graze, angelfish graze. Horses can be shy, angelfish can be shy. Horses or show dominant or aggressive behavior, angelfish can attack and show aggressive behavior. Horses can be glamorous, majestic. Angelfish can be glamorous and majestic. So in my opinion, they have a lot of similarities. The purpose of this is for you to enjoy, not only when they lay eggs and for you to choose the best specimens and to breed them, but the purpose of this is for you to also enjoy the pairing. When you buy 6 juveniles, enjoy the pairing process. What to expect, what which individuals are going to match with each other, and how to diffuse aggression, or how to tell if there's chemistry, how to tell which are males and females, which is not really important because you could just wait until the moment that they breed, right? That's a sign for sure. But let's make the process with more education. Let's make the process enjoyable. You know, let's make the pairing enjoyable. Let's make the teenagers looking at the teenagers. Like a little horse. Make the teenagers enjoyable. Um, because sometimes because of the care that they require. It's happened to me before, guys. I'm guilty. When they're like young and growing up, it's still exciting, but, there's nothing like when they're breeding. However, or when you're choosing teenagers for, like I said, for which ones you're gonna keep and which ones you will sell. But let's make all the process enjoyable, and that's why I'm taking the time to compare them with horses, how they size each other up, looking for the right mate. But yeah, it's very frustrating that, like I said, not a lot of us are taking camouflage into consideration. What does camouflage mean? And I hope thanks to this video, you you get a better idea about camouflage, what camouflage means for them, what camouflage means in the wild, and how an angelfish operates. The way an angelfish operates is supposed to be a combination of a leaf and the eye of the caiman. So that's why I mentioned the discus. They're a combination of a leaf and the eye of the caiman. And I will create a like a picture to help you put this in perspective, okay? So you can understand your angelfish a little bit better. You can understand, take their needs into consideration, how you're gonna escape the tank, how they're gonna feel comfortable. You know, they usually feel comfortable in our home aquariums because they don't have any predators. And eventually I will show you how I do it myself. Later I'm gonna show you how I breed my angelfish. Now, so to understand your angelfish better in camouflage, they're cousins of the discus. So they're a combination of the eye of the caiman, but they're also a combination of just leaves, leaves. It's a little bit different, and that's what makes the angelfish beautiful too. I'm sorry, the discus makes the discus beautiful. Okay. However, I share my opinion with Joey. Everybody knows. I mean, if you're into this hobby, you know Joey. So I share my opinion with Joey about the fact that the angelfish is not the king of the aquarium. Why is it not the king? Because a king is supposed to be strong, okay? And that's my personal preference. I agree with Joey 100%. So the true king of the aquarium is some other fish. For me, it's the angelfish. It's how they conserve energy, how they're ambush predators, how they interact with each other. I mean, if you think about hunting, and they usually eat live. I mean, imagine saving energy all day, looking like a caiman, pretending to be a caiman all day, having time to interact with other fish uh, of your own kind, and you just it's savage, man. I mean, horses graze, angelfish graze, but when it comes to hunting, it's savage. You know how much protein they're getting in the water from these shrimp or brine shrimp, or some other organisms that live in the Amazon. And then you wait and you wait and you wait for the right opportunity, and then boom, very energy efficient. You spend the rest of the day growing. You spend the rest of the day socializing. So that's why I consider the angelfish the king of the aquarium. Also because it's accessible. I don't want to say a plague because these things are majestic, you know, but they're majestic in a sense that successful plague, successful, and that's why I consider angelfish the king of the aquarium, the true king of the aquarium. All right, guys. So it was a pleasure sharing one of my passions, one of my hobbies with you today. Have a wonderful day. I will have more specific videos about reproducing, but for now, I really wanted to make a point about camouflage, which is something we're not understanding, when we're missing out on it. And in order for us to enjoy the hobby a little bit more, we're gonna need to study this information.